So my company is B2B, and I have a lot of interactions with other business owners where they're asking me, when should I delegate? Especially when I work with people who are content creators or that do video already. And I want to give you the answer today on how to delegate. I think that delegating is a very important process. I have a 3-step process whenever I get a new task. I either screw it, I delegate it, or I plan it. And those are my 3 different options. If I can fit that task into one of those 3 options, I can avoid burnout forever. So that's a little trick for you. So the 3 options are screw it, throw it out the door, don't do it, whatever the task is, just screw it. And that's where most of your tasks should go, probably about 60%, for me at least. 2 is delegate it. I usually delegate about 30 to 40%, 30%. Generally, if we were looking at the screw it, delegate it, and plan it type of thing, we're looking at screw it's probably about 60%, delegate it probably about 30%, about 10% I actually plan out. So when I delegate most of my work. Anything that's not actually going to put me in a better spot working on the business versus working in the business, I try my best to delegate. Now, the 3rd option is to plan it. And that is definitely a possibility for smaller business owners that you're going to have a higher planning task list. But I recommend that if you have something like that, write it down on your calendar. Put it on there so you know exactly what you need to know and exactly when. I use Google Calendar. I really like it. And I usually, write out all my tasks for the day on Google Calendar. I really do believe that if you can plan your tasks and plan your days, you're going to be a lot better off as far as productivity goes. And you're going to be able to avoid burnout a lot easier. So here's the $1 million question. When should you delegate? I think that you should delegate as early as possible and whenever it actually makes sense for you. Now that's probably not the exact answer that you're looking for, but to be honest, I can't give a broad answer for everybody. Some people need to delegate stuff earlier than others. And I really do believe that you should delegate as soon as you can. I try to delegate as much as possible so that I can work on acquisition of clients, and I try to outsource my deliverables. Now, a lot of people think there's a big stigma behind outsourcing. I don't really think so. I think that most businesses, every big business that's a service business, outsources their stuff. The facilitation of the outsourcing is where your value comes in. For me, I have a creative director. He does all of the delegated processes for reviews, for making sure that people are hitting their KPIs, and for management. My creative director does the job that I used to do. But as I scaled, I was running out of time. I was getting to a point where I was working 80-hour weeks every single week. And it's not fun to do. And there's not as much time that I can spend on acquiring clients when I spend 50 to 60 hours a week on reviews and management. Also, there's a lot of things that when you do it, you internalize as, okay, this needs to be perfect. But if you can outsource it, that stuff will be a lot more effective because the outsourced person knows the process versus knowing that you are going to be a perfectionist. Now, I'm not saying your outsourced person is not going to be perfect because they might be, but you're going to have a lot more effective product if you outsource. Well, even if you're not ready to outsource to delegate your tasks, I would highly recommend that you go in and write down an SOP of everything you do on a daily basis. Everything from the management of your team to the management of content to everything that you do on a daily basis. Now, there are some things that are harder to outsource than others, like content creation. Personally, I enjoy creating this content, so I continue to do it every single day. But I know that there's a lot of people that don't enjoy creating content. You can definitely outsource this to a person, but you're going to have a lot more capital. Video editing is one of those skills that is very hard to learn, and I want to use it as an example. Most of my clients that come to me could probably edit their own videos using a software like CapCut or Premiere. But the part where I get the value is that my editors are better than every other quote-unquote video editor, and I do the management to make sure that the videos are published, to make sure that everything is on track and that everything is moving smoothly. So I just want to make this quick little video on how to delegate and when you should start delegating. I think it's a very important thing to either delegate it, screw it, or plan it. If you can stick to that process, you can easily avoid burnout and easily keep going and grow your business. The only way you're going to be able to scale is by bringing more people and more automations onto the team. And that is how you grow your business. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you share the show. I don't run ads on the show or for the show, so I'd really appreciate it if you could just share it with one like-minded friend. Until next time, I'll see y'all tomorrow.